Hi, I'm Darrell Crow here. You know, I've been painting for quite a long time, and I get a lot of questions about mediums. And just when I think I've finally answered the very last question that anyone could possibly answer, I get yet another question, and this happened today. So Debbie, this answer's just for you and for everybody else who has the same kind of question. And that question basically is this. It says, Darrell, I'm getting a little confused. I bought your floral series, but I'm not quite sure what medium to use when. I follow your instructions and I use what you use and I get good results, but I get to painting myself. I don't know why I should choose one particular medium over another. And now you have wildlife and everything else, and I've got to come to grips with this question. And you're absolutely right, Debbie. You need to come to grips with the question of what is medium and when to use what particular medium. So to begin with, let's take a look at some, and I use the word cautiously, some of the choices, because there's an awful lot of medium out there. Every brand manufacturer of paints has their own medium. They have mediums for different purposes. So let's go on down to the palette and just take a brief look at what's available. What I've done is put out some oil painting mediums. We have some acrylic medium and we have water mixable. And pretty much what you find in oils, you find in the other two. So the very first question is to answer is, what am I painting in? And I'm going to assume we're going to do some oil painting since that's what I did my flowers and wildlife in. So with that in mind, let me just take off all of these. Now I'm only taking off 3 bottles, but we could be taking off 300 had we shown you everything there was. Okay, now mediums have become very, very popular on television because every television artist has their own particular brand of medium. So you add that to the manufacturer's medium and you start thinking, oh my gosh, what should I be using? Now, let's just go over what I've got here. I have something here that's called Japan Dryer. That introduces something new. Sometimes we can put an additive to our mediums that will do something special. So in this case, Japan Dryer takes medium and allows it to dry faster. And so now that's the first decision in mediums, is how fast does it take to dry? Does it take 1 day? Or does the painting take several days or several weeks to dry? So fat mediums take a long, long time to dry. Lean mediums take a short period of time, generally within 24 hours. Okay, now why should I use one or the other? Here's an example. If I'm doing portraits or if I'm doing wildlife and I do the first set or the first stage of painting. You see, if you paint in stages, then the painting has to dry in between the stages. If you're painting wet into wet, then you don't really want or care if the painting dries. So that's why you make the decisions between lean and fat. If you're painting a portrait or a landscape and you need to have it dry the next day, then you might want to consider an additive, or this is actually a commercially available lean medium. I just so happen to use the archival oils by Chroma. Their lean medium is superb and I like it, so that's my personal preference. So for flowers, for wildlife, for tall ships, I love using this particular medium. Now this is a homemade medium. Its formula is 20% linseed oil, and actually I should say it this way, it's 1 part linseed oil and 5 parts of odorless turp. And then this is a 3 ounce, so I would put 6 drops of Japan Dryer in it if I want it to be lean. If I don't care, I'll just use it like it is. So that's one way of deciding what you're using. So we have the commercially available mediums, and they can be made lean or fat. And you have homemade medium, in which you can use lean or fat. Now some of the television artists also use something called medium white, medium clear, medium black. Okay? And that's what we have here is white, clear, and black. Sometimes they'll have opal or lavender, but actually you can have any color of medium you want. Okay, medium's job, that's where we got to come right back to it. What is the job of medium? Medium's job is to make paint spread smoother onto the canvas and to allow the colors to mix together. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to take some of this dark burnt umber color. Okay, and just putting a little bit right on my brush. I'm just using a large filbert brush. Let's go back up to the canvas. There's no medium on this canvas whatsoever. Now if I go and put a stroke right there, we don't see anything. We see a bunch of color here, but if I'm going to cover an area about like this, then I've got to see how hard I have to scrub to get on that. All right. Now I can put medium in here and it'd be a lot easier. Okay. There we go. Get that scrubbing. We got to fill in all those pores. See that? It's not difficult. You can paint without medium, but this makes it easier if you do have medium. Okay, now you saw me put that square in. Let me put another one, but I'm going to do a change. Here we go. Now I'm going to put these three mediums to the side. And now I'm using a homemade medium. And I just a little bit. Now I can put it on the bare canvas, and in fact I'll just do it to show you. See, I'll just take the bare canvas, dipping my brush right into the homemade medium. All right, and I'm going to come right under here, and there we go. I've covered the canvas. All right, now because I put a little medium into that brush, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to grab a smaller brush, and I just have pure paint. Let's come back up to the canvas. See that? See how easy it is? That's how easy it is. It takes no time at all. It's real smooth. All right, and before you know it, I've got a beautiful swatch of color. Now, let me come back here and show you what I was going to. Go ahead, dip a little bit into, there we are. See how easy that is? Come right up here. Now this is a dry canvas, so boom. It's easier than the other one was, as long as my brush has medium and paint in it. See? I didn't have to scrub over and over like we did on the other one. All right? So clearly, the best approach is to go ahead and cover your canvas with medium, and then you can go ahead and paint easily like that. All right, so that's three examples. Without any medium, medium in paint, and medium on the canvas, and then going over with just pure paint. Now for blending, I say a lot of times it's for blending, and let's just take a little bit of the yellow ochre that we have right here, and again, I'll just take a little bit of medium right in there, okay? And I'll come right next to the color, right there. All right, I'm just coming right in, right next to it. So now I have one color right next to another. But now I could take a paper towel, clean my brush, and look at that. I'm going to blend it together. So that's the purpose of medium. Now there's a third purpose, and that's highlighting. Thin paint sticks to thick paint. So if I want to highlight, and I'll do that with this right now, I'm going to highlight that blended area with this light white. Take a little bit of medium, and I want to make sure it's nice and thin. See that? And it's smooth, almost like I'm ice skating. All right, and I'll just slide her up like I was making a tree or something. And let's come up here. All right, and boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom. How many of you seen these little snow trees? Just like that. Okay, I'm going to take a large scrubber brush, and there's no medium on this, and I'm just going right into red paint. Now let's go up to the canvas and let me show you what I did. What I've done right here is I put the homemade medium right here, and it has no color in it. Then I took medium black and medium white, and so I have the three different mediums right here. Now my brush has red in it, so I want to show you what happens when I go across. See that? This stays its true color, and this over here gets grayed down, so it's dull. Okay, so the third option would be to take your brush, and we'll reload with some red again, and let's just continue this line right here. Now this is with the white, so you see the difference? Clear medium, black medium, and white. True color, brighter color, grayer color. And that's it. That's the effect of medium. All right, Debbie, let me kind of summarize it this way, okay? You have a lot of choices. You use the medium that are going to do what you want. As a student, though, you're trying to say to yourself, okay, what are the rules? When do I use one particular type of medium over another? So I'm going to give you my guidelines that I give to everyone. If you can go down and buy at your local art supply store, they're already prepared, regular, everyday, non-lean, non-fat medium, that's a great way to start. And you use that for your landscapes, you use that for your seascapes, for your wildlife, for your tall ships, for anything that you're painting, portraits, you name it. And then, if you want your colors to get brighter, you can certainly go ahead and buy the medium whites that are available under their various brand name. Or you can make your own by just simply adding a little white paint to your medium. You see, you can cover that whole canvas with the clear medium, and then go ahead and, or regular oil painting medium, or your own homemade medium, and then just cover it with a very thin coat of white. And that'll do the same thing. So you have all the choices. But if you want to use just one particular medium, then you might consider using a commercially available everyday oil painting medium, or use the homemade medium of 1 part of linseed oil to 5 parts of odorless turp. Now the question gets a little more complicated if you're an international student, and because the laws right now are very tough in shipping certain products from one country to another because of all of the terrorist laws and national securities that are in effect. So one of the unfortunate items that are on these lists to not ship is medium. So you may be required, if you're living abroad somewhere, to purchase local medium materials, and in that case, if you're already skilled with your own homemade mediums, that'll work out very nicely for you. So you can see the effects of medium depending on whether you're using oil paints, acrylics, or water mixable oils, or anything else. You see the effects of whether you have lean or wet or fat mediums. How long does it take to dry? It's also thickness, and then the colors of the mediums. Okay, and you've seen how by using one particular color like red, when it goes through clear, dark, or light mediums, what those effects are. Now as for me, I will occasionally use the white mediums when I'm doing landscapes because I like to have bright colored skies and waters and lakes, and I want to get the mediums down quickly, get those colors in quickly, and as I add colors, I want to brighten them up. Okay? Now occasionally if I want to show something like it's in the shadows, I may choose to use a dark medium. Now when I'm doing something like florals, I want some special colors in the background, so I may just put clear medium over it and swirl in all kinds of colors, or I may go down to the store and buy one of those lavender or opal colored mediums and go ahead and use that as my base color and swirl in other colors. It really doesn't matter as far as those different mediums. The important thing is, to begin with, standardize on one particular medium. And unfortunately, if you add the medium white to your repertoire, you'll also need a clear medium as well. So you may be stuck with two mediums. But use them until you learn them, use them until you're comfortable with them, use them until you can use them in your sleep. I hope you've enjoyed this tip. I hope everybody has. I'm Darrell Crow, and yes, not only can you paint, but I'm here to help you learn exactly how, and you can visit me at darrellcrow.com.